I am beyond impressed.
Thank you.
Beyond impressed. I am fascinated by what you guys can do. And hopefully it's going to solve your problem.
Yeah.
You know, actually want to start with you, Jeff. What problems do you encounter that lead you to SISU?
Well, first off, most importantly, the collaboration. They listen and they act on those criticisms. You know, motion control to me comes with a history of baggage, and every time you saw a shot where it necessitated a repeatable move or a motion that needed to be motorized and repeatable or controlled to the degree where it had to land at a certain time at a certain place and be rock solid, it just added to production's concerns. It added time to your day. It was a headache. It was like a red flag every time it came up. And it's evolved, as everything in our industry has evolved, to the point where the collaboration with these guys and what I've seen in the last 2 years, it's a daily thing. It's a tool that you can use practically anywhere all the time, and it's not that burden anymore. The fact that it's mobile, that you can contain power, that it doesn't require a forklift every time or a helicopter to land it in a field and a power plant to go with it and 2 days to program it. The fact that you can make a move and it will repeat it, or you can program a move and do it. You can do it on an iPhone. You can do it through the console. Massively creative opportunities evolved out of the simplicity of how it creates the moves and how quickly an operator can program it to do what you want to do, or changes and time out to things. And it's just been it's an evolution in what used to be such a drag and a burden to work with, and so it's opening the doors to new ideas now that it's such a useful, easy use.
Now, have you had a chance yet to use the wireless? Has anybody had a chance?
No, not really. That's something. So what we're doing with wireless is that is new, right? Really announcing it for the first time here. That'll be coming out. Like we'll be shipping that later this year. So.
Can you make him wait?
Probably not.
No, I was going to say.
No.
There could be that could disrupt the loyalty issue here.
No, I think we're going to take care of Mr. Cronenweth for sure. But for the virtual, for the whole market, right? It's something we're going to launch and make available to the broader market later this year.
I mean, they can speak to it more, but all the assets, the interaction with the virtual world that's coming, that we're all presented with every day, is all great. But one of the things that is most appealing to me, and it came up yesterday, and it's imperative for a shot I'm planning in a film that I have coming up, is it's the safest one out there. The protocols that they went through and the pain and suffering that they did to evolve the keypads and the operator control and pressure point triggers and double upon double security. I want to do a shot where you track in at a high speed and stop 6 inches from an actor's face. Mm-hmm. And that's not going to happen unless we know exactly every box has been checked and it's redundantly stupid and won't injure anybody or cause any concern. And it's a Disney film, so their protocols for safety are beyond. So it's not going to even be an option for me to do unless I can. With any other system, it would be a calculated risk. I'm 100% confident at this, and I can sell it to the talent when the time comes. So that's imperative.
Now, see, you bring up something really important. You bring up something really key there, Jeff, is the talent. Because whenever there's equipment involved, we all know that there is talent out there that are very herky-jerky about things that they might be asked to do or equipment that is being used. I know some talent that bullets have been fired directly at a camera that's right behind them, not the whole Rust situation, but a number of years ago, and the camera had housing around it, and the actor was legitimately concerned about themselves.
Right.
But now this would allow things to stop just at
Absolutely, you can program
the
move.
camera.
Our safety protocols are second to none in the business. We have 2 or 3 layers of safety that none of the other competitors are even close to having. And I can say that from personal experience of seeing both sides of the coin.
It's an interesting problem because we regularly get people looking at our robot system that have used another system, or people that have our system that have used another one. They're like, well, we'd like to do this because that system does this and that system does that. But doing that breaks through the safety protocols that we find to be super important, that our competitors have decided they're going to err on this side of safety, and we're like, well, we can't enable that feature that you want because of the safety challenges that presents that we don't want to break down. So safety to us is really important.
We can also elaborate on it because we're talking very generally, and sometimes everybody says, oh, well, we're the safest system out. To be more specific, we have what's technically called a dead man switch, but we don't like to refer to it as a dead man switch. We refer to it as an enabling switch on our tablets. So when you're holding our controller, you have to squeeze that switch to about halfway to pressure. And if the operator is not comfortable and they release the switch immediately, the robot comes to a dead stop. Also, if they are in a panic mode and their hand tenses up and the switch is fully depressed, which is more important, the robot comes to a dead halt.
Brilliant.
Yeah, so whether your response is oh my gosh or oh my gosh, robot stops.
Because more times than not, it's oh my gosh. It's the natural human reaction to something, and it's brilliant.
Wow.
Nobody else has that system. There's another layer that we have, which is a turnkey system, and sometimes frustrates seasoned operators because they have to turn the key from T1 to T2. But you can only program our robot in T1, and the T1 means that the robot will only move at a very, very slow rate. So before you're even ready to run the move at its high speed, or whatever the technical speed is that you want to do, you have to physically walk to the box and turn our key to T2 to be able to enable the move. So we have these different layers of safety that nobody else has in the business.
Oh, well, next time I do a set visit, I know what set will be the safest one that I want to be on. Wow.
And the most creative.
And definitely
Coolest shots.
Cooler, and especially if you're there.
Ah, you're too sweet.
No, if you had lousy ones, I would tell you that. But
I believe that.
I truly would. Everybody in the business knows that about me after 40 years. But, I'm really curious about the R&D.
Okay.
That whole pipeline is done in-house with all of you.
Yeah, we have, 80 employees at SISU currently?
SISU's got right about 80 employees. That includes from design, from hardware and software, all the way to building, manufacturing, to the machine shop in the back. So other than the robot arm, we control the design, the software, the hardware, all the way to the manufacturing and shipping of it. So it's all in-house. We've got a team of software engineers, a team of hardware engineers devoted only on cinema robotics. And it's a collaboration between our Hollywood, talent, the people that know what they're looking for, customers who have the robot, things they like to see, feature enhancements, those types of things, collaborating with them to upgrade our system and continue to add features and new things that make their job easier.
Now, what's the average time it takes to develop a robotic arm or the new wireless system?
I think I could talk a little bit. We are releasing new software every quarter. Every 3 months, we're releasing new features, bug fixes, those things every 3 months, and that goes out to all our partners. Everybody that owns a robot, we're providing that software update to them immediately, every 3 months. And so along the way, we're designing and developing new features that go out to our customers. Something like wireless, that takes a little bit longer, less than a year. Pretty fast. I mean, we've got a team of.
There's an important piece to this puzzle too, is that we have a patent for that wireless system. Nobody else can touch that. So, and which is a really important part of one of the reasons why I got involved with the company in the first place. So that's protected.
That's a big thing. That's a very big element in the pieces of this puzzle.
I don't know what our competitors have, but we literally have a full team of engineers developing software and a full team of people working on hardware. This is their only focus. And
You also have
an expense that we go into.
The history of the robots that you've used in other industries forever that got you this place. You were ahead of the game before you ever started in our industry.
Yeah, so SISU's been around for probably 15 years doing robotic automation in other areas. And so the cinema business came as kind of a natural progression of and a new kind of wing of the business. So we still do other things. We do custom projects for some of the biggest tech companies that you've ever heard of. We do some custom work for a business that does knife sharpening, which is the weirdest and coolest thing you've ever seen when a robot is picking up and sharpening knives and doing all this, using sensors to understand how sharp a knife is, how sharp it needs to be, and then does the work for you so you get a perfectly sharpened knife. So all that experience, like Jeff was saying, comes into play when it comes into
Okay, with
building
knife
software.
sharpening, you talk about safety. I think that may be the height of safety of what you guys have developed.
Absolutely.
I'm waiting for the home version.
No.
Oh, yeah, I'm with you.
We talked about it.
We can get you one, sir. No problem.
Curious, Brian, since you came over and you got involved with SISU,
Yeah.
what is it about robotics that attracted you to begin with to get involved with robotics and the virtual aspect?
Well, without saying the obvious, the robotics is the
That it's
future,
cool.
because I grew up with that in the 70s in the UK, where everyone, like in the US, was scared that robots were going to take people's jobs. But what I realized very early on was that's not actually happening. By providing robots on sets, we're providing jobs to crew members on the sets. We're not taking anyone's jobs away. We still need ACs to set focus. We still need camera operators to operate our robot. It's just a different kind of operating that's happening. So even though we're shooting in a virtual production environment, what we're actually doing is providing work for crew members, and we're not taking anyone's jobs away. It's just the jobs are moving laterally in a fluid level to a different field. And as long as somebody is willing to be able to shift their focus and their a professional experience into our field, we can train them up in a week, and that's the beauty of this system.
That just blows my mind.
We literally had
That-
people
that
uncrate it.
downtime.
We had them uncrate it, and they start shooting things the next day.
We've actually
before we even get out to train them.
We've actually invited several of Jeff's camera operators to come over and learn to operate our system. And they can work in the environment, part of the union and be camera operators. That
Wow.
was one of the things that attracted me into this. Aside from the obvious advantages of using a system like this, what we aspire to do is be the Ronin head. We want our robots on every camera truck package, and so it's the B unit, it's part of the main unit. People like Mr. Cronenworth can say, bring in the robot. We roll our robot onto their set, it's ready to go in 20 minutes. We can program a shot in 10 and be done and out of the way back in the camera truck. That's really what we aspire to be. And Jeff has worked with a certain director for many, many years whose whole vision is skinnying down the crew and the camera packages, doesn't want trucks, he just wants a small package, and we inspire him.
It's more attractive that way too. Especially from the history that it carries with it. The notion that most people still have stuck in their minds about what it takes to do a motion control shot is behind us now. That's not the way it is. Now it's a quick, accessible, simple tool to use on an everyday basis. Before it was a big deal, and we scheduled it this day on this thing and know that you're going to spend the whole day messing around with trying to work this thing out, and it's not the case anymore. Now it's just a bonus.
I'm still mind blown over 86 setups in a day.
That's a record, but we're going to beat it.
Oh my God. That just is astounding.
That exhausts me, just thinking about it.
I should add that it was a 10-hour day.
Okay.
That's important.
I'm back on that.
That's even more shocking.
I think Jeff and I's record was a 54-hour day on Guns N' Roses in 1993 or 4, right?
Unbelievable.
So a day is 10 hours. I just want to clarify that when I
Yeah,
say
not
it.
17.
Yes.
Or multiple days.
Or multiple days.
Different era.
Oh my God. Well, now, Jeremy, what is it about the company? How early did you get involved in SISU?
So I've been involved with SISU for just over 3 years. I came on board a little bit after Brian did, actually.
You let him in?
No, actually, we met through the company. Yep.
No, I'm saying you let him come in?
Yeah. If only he'd known then, he'd be like, "No, sorry, we're gonna keep the door shut." Yes, I've been with the company just over 3 years, working with the owners, Russ Aldridge and Mark Christensen. I was drawn to the company. One, I think the technology is incredible. Right? I really do. I see the technology, and I think there's a term blue ocean, right, about these new markets and where things are. And I see this. We talk about studios and other people getting ability to use these products. I see a whole market out there that could use this technology, and that excites me. I mean, I'm not a cinematographer. I have an MBA. I have a CPA license. I'm more of a business person. But I see this and I think, wow, this is exciting technology that people need to have and people can use. So that attracted me to it. Then it's the people. I mean, it's probably a bit cliche, but I feel like this company is full of people who want to help their customers, help people do incredible things. And there's a vibe in the company that I just wanted to be a part of. But we're solving problems, we're doing something cool with people that I enjoy being with. It just doesn't get any better than that.
It really fosters like a family environment at work, and that was one of the things that I was attracted to SISU. It's not interesting for an audience to hear this, but it's an amazing environment. You see all the employees there, everyone's really happy, everyone's really hardworking, and it's just like a Boy Scout team.
See, that's where you're wrong, because people do like hearing that about companies, especially in this industry and companies you're dealing with all of the angst and diversity that I know that you have witnessed yourself over the years. When you know that you're working with a company where everybody gets along and they're a family, it's much more pleasant. It's one less thing you have to worry about. Am I going to have to get into an argument with these people today? It's important.
That doesn't happen at SISU. Our CEO is currently cleaning the toilets on a weekly basis to set a precedent for the company.
And they invite innovation. They invite outside thoughts and incorporate them into it. And that's what you want as a creative like me. You want someone that's going to jump into the mix with you and share those kind of challenges and resolve them.
Now, earlier, Brian we were talking about the latency issues with doing virtual.
Yeah.
Now, have you encountered situations with latency issues that their system has now resolved for you?
I haven't with SISU exactly had that opportunity to push that, to find out. But I have shot a lot of walls where there has been latency, which is an issue, but that was usually programming issues and media combined with, it was less about the camera movement, more about the wall itself. It was problematic, at least in the times I've had that come up.
Now, one of the things, and you've got a display over here, and on your website you talk about the products. It's one of the great things is the diversity and the range that SISU has in terms of you can do films or you can do knife sharpening, but also these smaller things like the display back here designed for products, where you can just do a single setup for a TV spot for a roll of toilet paper.
That's one of our goals. That's one of our long-term goals. So what you're seeing back there is basically a small tabletop version of our larger Unreal Engine immersive experience here. And you can have a talking head and our robot, and the background can change. So the young lady can be in Paris, she can be in London, the young man can be in Rome, he can be in Venice.
So, for events like this, like CINE GEAR, like NAB, what does that do for you? Does that do more to help your profile, or do people seeing Jeff's work and he says, yeah, I'm just going to lose everything?
Well, the mere fact that somebody like Jeff's even interested in our organization is fantastic for us, of course. But the truth of the matter is the technology speaks for itself. And that's why we go to CINE GEAR, that's why we go to NAB, to showcase it. We know that we're a fairly young company in in the business, but we have a long history of designing and programming the software for the robotics. And it's amazing how far we've come along in the cinema field in the last 3 years since Jeremy and I joined. And as Jeff said, we've grown from, I think, 25 employees when I go to now 80 employees, and this is where the future is.
That's fantastic. Where do you see the company going?
Can I go back to that last question? I do want to say, I think one of the important things that this does is it demystifies cinema robotics. Like we had 4 and 5-year-olds up on this wall. We had 80-year-old up on this wall. We're putting this in the hands of people, and we're taking it away from motion control. Oh, yuck. Oh, that's a problem. I don't want to deal with it. We're literally putting controllers in people's hands, saying, move our robot. See how easy it is. So as we demystify this work, we expect, even if you're not a cinematographer, let's say you're somebody that does lighting, you're somebody that does set work. If you see what's possible with this, all of a sudden what you think you can do on set changes. And so we just want to get out the word to people like, this isn't scary, this isn't crazy, this doesn't cause headaches, like this can really change the game for you. That's what I think we get here, is demystifying the business. And as that changes, I think the amount of camera robotic work happening is going to grow exponentially. I think there's this much getting done now. I think there's this much that could be done, but people don't want to do it because they find another way to do it. But I think there's probably this much more that could be done with robotics right now if people just understood the accessibility of it all. So that's what this show does for us.
You get to open the eyes and introduce it to a whole young group of filmmakers that might be PAs now, but they're going to be directors of tomorrow. And the more knowledge they have, the more creative they can be, and they know freedom they're going to have by using different tools. And so the more exposure, the better for the whole industry from a creative standpoint.
How do you see the robotics affecting your work in the future, Jeff?
I think it's another tool that I get to expand my creativity with. I get to come up with shots that you can't do, that a human couldn't do, or would be unsafe for an actor, and we can combine the two. And with the emerging virtual world, it's just like it opens the door to so much stuff. It really frees us up. Like storytelling's just got 2 more layers that it never had before. So.
Now, do you see? I know next we're going to have 5 and 6. This is like so easy, the wireless. We're going to have 5 and 6-year-olds wanting your job.
They do now.
If you look
There's some
at
really good
TikTok
ones.
and Instagram, they're already making film.
They're already there, yeah.
You're making it so easy, especially for the gaming generation.
Yeah, well, exactly. We want to make it easy and fun.
I'm a gaming generation.
There we go.
Hey, let's not date ourselves.
We were having a whole conversation about this
Define
yesterday.
gaming generation.
Yeah, exactly what does that mean?
Anybody younger than my 65. So,
Not much.
We're right there. Yeah.
but the ease of it, the I can't wait to see what Jeff thinks of the wireless when you start using it.
Can't wait.
And when it becomes more of the wave in filmmaking.
It's funny because these kids, that generation you're all referring to, they're already trying to do this type of work. They're already faking it. They're hanging cameras and phones off of ceiling fans. They're putting a broomstick on the side of their truck
they're
and running down the street.
parents,
Like they're doing all kinds of stuff, trying to mimic what Hollywood does. And so this is just the way as looking to the future of providing, kids today, high schoolers, college students, getting them familiar with this system so that they can really expand we're able to do. Like I think the content we're going to see, it's already really cool. We were watching something the other day. Some high schooler filmed something that was just beautiful.
Exactly. Yeah. We took it to a high school and trained them recently. But also to a point where actually Jeff and I did a job 2 years ago now for Samsung.
Yeah.
And there was this young director he happened to be from the UK, but that's neither here nor there, that came over and we shot on the backlot. Was it this backlot? It was.
Yeah,
we shot right
Yeah.
outside the stage.
Yeah.
And we were here for about 4 or 5 days. What was fascinating about this was that he was an editor. He was a director. What we're doing with this technology is enabling him to be an operator too, and we can give him the controls, and he can learn to control. So we are making it simple for everyone. That's not to say we're taking jobs away from everyone. That just means there's going to be more work for everybody.
Yeah.
And this just seems to be the way of the future, in my humble opinion.
The good thing about robotics is you can actually trigger things. Like on this shot right here, as it's moving, it's triggering the fan to go. It's programmed into the set. So it's no longer like, hey, you know, if you're an independent, you don't have to have your buddy over there hitting the fan when you need it to go on. You don't have to have somebody, you know, throwing the ice at whatever or doing whatever it has to. It's all triggered and programmed to just go when you want it. And then you can change it. You can be like, ooh, that fan came on too soon. Pull it back. Oh, I want that light to move at this angle, right? I want it to sweep in. Let's change that up on my program, and that way you get what you want, not what you hope when the magic happens. Like, no, I need it half a second sooner, or I need it a tenth of a second later. Program all that in, and that frees you up to focus on what's going on in the camera.
Well, I can honestly say, after everything that I saw at NAB, and I go every year to NAB, this was the most impressive technology that I saw. Oh no, it's fine, it's connected. The most impressive, and to see it here now with the wireless.
Yeah, we're very proud of the
away.
award that they gave us at NAB this year.
Yep.
We really are.
You deserved it.
Thank you. We like working with like-minded people trying to take technology, put it out to the people, open up that market a little bit more. And Bryan is just the right type of person, that's the right type of company that we like to partner with and do things with.
Well, I can't thank you guys enough
Thank you.
for talking to me. You too, a bonus.
Just happened to bring him in. He happened to be walking by.
Timing's everything.
In all these years, I've never gotten to speak with Jeff before. So,
And here you are.
and here I am, an added perk.
I pinch myself too. I'm always like, I'm sitting next to Jeff Cronenweth. Like,
I wish that meant something.
We can make ourselves available to you anytime.
Well,
Cronenweth, I'm not sure.
that's lovely. Thank you.
thank you so much.
I have
Thank you.
filmmakers to talk to about you guys.